think is one of the fundamental issues of our time. I wish I had a half an hour. I know I just have a few minutes because it's this important. But this lawsuit on health care has never been about health care. It has been about Congress breaking the rules. It has been about Congress forcing Americans to purchase something that they don't want to purchase. The U.S. Supreme Court in the Lopez decision said this about that particular case where Congress was also trying to push beyond its powers. And the Supreme Court found it pushed beyond its powers, given to it under the Commerce Clause. And it said this, and I'll quote it, these types of cases would allow Congress to pile inference upon inference in a manner that doth bid fair to convert congressional authority under the Commerce Clause into a general police power of the sort retained by the states. What you have to understand about this and why we're fighting on this, and why we were one of the first states to lead out on this. Now there are 26 states in the National Federation of Independent Businesses. Candace Daly is their representative. I applaud them for joining with the states because we needed them for standing purposes. And we need their input as well because they represent thousands of businesses across the country. But what Congress tried to do with this was take a general police power. And if you understand this, you think deeply about it, resonate in your hearts. I mean, Davis County, I used to think that Washington County was the most Republican county in the state, but it's not. I realize that now. Davis County, you guys rock. You get it. You elect Republicans here who feel the way I feel about these principles. Right now, the issue of our day is federalism. It's about the government taking, and here's what happens. The concept of dual sovereignty was the genius, one of the geniuses behind the Constitution. The principle is this: the states have sovereignty except to the extent that they gave certain enumerated powers to the federal government for the purpose of uniting these states. We are the United States of America. The states were to retain sovereignty or ultimate authority and control and power over everything that wasn't specifically delegated to the federal government. And what this is an attempt by the federal government to have a general police power, because as we analyze this bill, if it's constitutional for Congress under the Commerce Clause to force you into the marketplace, we see absolutely literally no limit to what they could do to force us. And so if they have no limit to what they can do, then they become supreme under the Supremacy Clause over everything that the state would ever want to do. And we become, as Governor Herbert stated in his State of the State address, mere colonies of the federal government. That is not what we want as states, and it's not what we want as people, as residents and citizens who understand that our freedoms come from God and they're protected by the Constitution. They're not granted by the Constitution. And I think we all here believe in that principle. If not, I don't know if we understand what we really understand. So the lawsuit. Thank you. It's very emotional for me, and it's very emotional for your Attorney General as we fight this fight. The lawsuit. No one thought we could even survive a motion to dismiss, did they? I don't know how you feel. How do you feel to know that we went to the district court in Florida with a judge who understands constitutional principles, a senior judge appointed by Ronald Reagan in 1983, a 78-page opinion that went over all the history, the jurisprudence on the Commerce Clause over the last 150, 200 years. And he found that not only did we survive a motion to dismiss, but we won. We won. It's unconstitutional. And he struck down the whole act. And every single state plaintiff, and I'm not sure exactly how it affects the members of the NFIB, but at least with every state plaintiff, I'm assuming that maybe even with the members of the NFIB, that law is now null and void. It's null and void until another court, the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals or the U.S. Supreme Court, holds otherwise. How does that make you feel, Utah? I want to let you know that your legislators had something to do with this, because in the ruling by this judge, he found that Utah and Idaho gave standing to the states because their legislatures passed legislation that made it illegal for the government to do this, and that legislation was passed before this Affordable Care Act became a law in March of 2010. So kudos to our legislative representatives, the senators and representatives, and the governor, Governor Bell, Lieutenant Governor Bell, who's from this county. He brought from your county. Under their leadership, they found that the states of Utah and Idaho gave standing to all the other states. That's what Utah did. And we're proud of the legislature for doing that. We're proud of the governor for signing that bill and making it happen. What are the next steps? Well, we won the first quarter. What does that mean to the end of the game? Not very much. We're committed to making sure that we have the best representation possible. I want to salute the National Federation of Independent Businesses because they started the ball rolling in hiring a very good Supreme Court appellate attorney, and the states are following suit. We are interviewing someone, and I can't really say his name right now because we haven't finalized negotiations, but he's a former Solicitor General. He's been on the cutting edge of and argued over 50 cases before the Supreme Court. He is well respected. We think he's one of the top appellate advocates in the country that will now be joining our team. And we are committed to not just winning the first quarter, which we've won, but to winning at the 11th Circuit level and to winning at the Supreme Court level, because we cannot allow this Congress in this bill to have this stand and find that the United States Congress can force us not only regulate the marketplace, which we understand they can do, but to force Americans into the marketplace. So I wanted you to know, we wanted to report, and Shirley, thank you for giving us this opportunity, because we have to spread this message everywhere in the state to let you know why it's important. This is not important because it deals with health care. It is important because it deals with federalism and our rights and freedoms. Pray for us. Get behind your legislators. Keep working to do the things you do as great Republicans. We're doing other things as well. We want you to know, Mark wants you to know, that we're fighting a major war on public lands right now. This administration is taking unprecedented steps in taking the rights of the western states, the rights of the people. This is a western state. This is a western state. This is a public land state. Our resources are our wealth. They create jobs and do all these things. Under the proposals currently in the legislature, and we're very involved in this, the Attorney General's office will double, or more than double, its capacity to fight the federal government in court, which is what we can do when they're overreaching their authority on our rights under federal lands as well. So this is a monumental time where we're trying to give the resources that we need to stand on the wall as your Attorney General's office and fight for the freedoms that we hold dear. We have to fight, and we are learning firsthand from this administration that if we don't fight, we get bowled over, and that's what's happening. Well, God bless you. I'm happy to stay around for just a couple minutes. I do have some other commitments. If anybody has any questions, I don't want to interrupt your meeting, Shirley. And I also want to put in the plug for Wade Fairway, as long as we're plugging people. Wade Fairway works closely with our office on these issues, and he couldn't be here this morning. I think he's out of town, but he's a good friend. He's a great guy for us. So God bless you. Thanks for your time, and know that Mark is working diligently to fight this fight. And I think it's the fight of our time. Thank you very much, God.